And what an atmosphere in Omaha, Nebraska, with #1 in town. 2 top 15 teams meeting head-to-head in front of a packed house at the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Why are they here? Why are they jacked up? Because these are 2 of the top 3 teams in the Big East. You see the top 5 standings. UConn trying to run away with the Big East. Creighton trying to throw a wrench into the plans of the Huskies here in Omaha tonight. And we welcome you courtside alongside my partner and friend Bill Raftery. I'm Kevin Kugler. This is a fun one tonight. What an atmosphere. The 2 top offensive teams in the Big East head-to-head on this floor.
If you like offense, you're at the right place. So the key, I think, is who's going to guard better. And I think the big thing for Creighton is have a good, solid start. Stay out of foul problems. Don't turn it over and make sure they hit the glass.
Let's take a look at your Jeep starting lineups. Jeep, there's only one. And when you look at this lineup, you see a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Cam Spencer sparking UConn, the transfer from Rutgers. Meanwhile, for Creighton, they've gotten a lot from inside with Ryan Kalkbrenner, Stephen Ashworth, the transfer point guard, trying to get it done. But really, what you look at, tonight's player to watch is sponsored by Intuit QuickBooks, and that player to watch is Baylor Shireman. He's been as good as anybody in the country over the last several games.
And he's a wow player, big-time talent. What I like most about him, he can go either way, can jam it with that right hand as well as the left. He's going to keep out there. Castle's got a guy that's going to tag him all night. He's got to have good shot selection, keep himself busy, and of course use those screens as effectively as he does game in and game out.
Get big picture insights for your small business. That's how you business differently. And we're about to get to the business of basketball in Omaha.
It's time to get wild. It's time to get loud.
You're used to this atmosphere. Pretty raucous.
Not sure quite like this.
It's special. You got #1 in town. Why not? They all show up.
Kalkbrenner will jump for Creighton. Donovan Clingan for UConn. And UConn controls.
And Kevin Kugler right now. The Blue Jays are getting good. They keep busy and put pressure on you defensively with the offensive Connecticut. A lot of pin downs, a lot of slips, curls, just like this.
And Caravan on that curl gets inside for 2.
That's so effective. They respond beautifully.
For the Blue Jays, they are working up the floor with one of the better offensive production teams in the country, specifically from behind the arc. 7th in the country. They average over 10.5 threes per game.
Nice cut. They got a different Ashworth, by the way. He's been playing great since their last game.
On the baseline, a turnover. Shireman bumped. And not what Greg McDermott had in mind for the first possession of the game for the Blue Jays in his 14th season. You see his record with Creighton. His overall record, 599 wins. Looking for win number 600. What a way to get it tonight.
Amazing. The master of the offensive game and the master of the floater right there with his own follow.
Tristan Newton, the only active player, Raf, with over 1,750 points, 650 rebounds, 650 assists. He can hurt you in so many ways.
Yeah, 3 double-doubles, too. Pretty impressive. Alexander loves that mid-game if he can get in. Boy, they're having trouble on the offense. Nice run out here. Look at Clinton on the floor. Wow!
Kalkbrenner with a block. Long rebound in the scramble. It'll be Caravan for 3.
Wow. What do they acknowledge quickly? Nice give. Caravan with the response.
Ashworth looking for 3. Kalkbrenner can't secure it. Out of bounds to UConn, and what a start for the Huskies, up 7-0.
And this is the one I think Creighton was worried about too. Not ringing the bell, not getting involved early. This is a well-tuned. You're only going to switch it here. Then it wasn't off.
So it will be Creighton ball. As you might imagine, Dan Hurley.
A smile early. It must be yes.
I don't know if that was a smile. That was maybe a wry smile. Here's Shireman, lob into Kalkbrenner. Clingan right there. Blocked by Clingan. Kalkbrenner staying with it, and he gets the 2 plus 1 more.
He got him jammed under that basket. Silent warrior, Kalkbrenner. Both these bigs can pin their guy and beg well. Teams acknowledge when they're open to get it to them. But right here, negated once, but sticking tough, and this is his game too. With that shoulder, body search, finish the deal.
One thing we're going to be watching all night is stuff just like that, Ref. Baseline out-of-bounds plays. Two of the very best head coaches in America in designing baseline out-of-bounds to score points.
Well, Bob Fosse was a choreographer. These two on baseline out-of-bounds, they come up with new gimmicks, new looks, new styles, game in and game out. Castle improved play, making shots now. Terrific defender as well.
Newton in the corner to Castle. The freshman will whip it right back to Newton for a three. That's short. Rebound Klingon.
Nice job by Miller helping out.
And now Shireman on the run.
There's that early three.
Here's Kalkbrenner. He hit three on Saturday. This one's short. And the rebound, Miller trying to track it down, but it's out to UConn.
And maybe inopportune that early. They want him to take them in the flow of the offense. Nobody underneath either.
I'm not sure Greg McDermott loved that
I don't
shot.
think he wanted that early.
There's Newton again to work around the screen from Klingon.
And the busiest guy in the place is Spencer. His activity is incredible.
Castle from three. Thugs against the backboard.
They were going to let him go early, see if he could make that jumper. He's improved in that area. Got to get in the lane here. Alexander, nice curl. Shireman in the lob.
And the lob just off the fingertips of Kalkbrenner.
An empty side. Pretty idea.
Caravan. Floater short. Rebound scooped up by Newton.
That drop defense now. Got to be careful of the roll guy.
Spencer could not get it to fall. Shireman looking to push.
Ashworth with a nice job bodying him wider.
Miller.
He can drill him.
One of the best in the Big East percentage-wise, third in the league.
I think he and Farabello, when he comes in, have to get a couple of threes. Nice cut by Spencer. You'll be saying that all night. The little kids.
So many weapons with this UConn team on both sides.
There's no easy out.
Stephen Ashworth and the Blue Jays down 9-3. Crowd quiet for now.
Nice curl by Shireman.
Little off balance and off the mark. Spencer, the Rutgers transfer, starts the push.
Ball does not stick with UConn. Put a lot of pressure on your weak side, your communication skills. This kid at the rim's pretty good.
Klingon jumped a little early, still able to scoop it up and put it in.
Well, he doesn't have to, he can tippy-toe for most rebounds at that size. Such a good screener, too, for this team.
UConn's gotten up double the amount of shots as Creighton. 12 attempts to 6 for the Blue Jays.
A nice job inside by Klingon. Donovan denying pretty good. This is what they had trouble up in Connecticut. Nice pass and roll. Oh, pretty by Ashworth. Big fella. Completes the deal.
And a much different Stephen Ashworth than UConn saw when these two teams met.
Yeah, he is more confident. They thought the end of the game turned his year around. Let it loose, let it fly.
And remember that first meeting, he got 2 early fouls and wasn't a factor in the first half.
He's got his hands full trying to chase this guy.
And an offensive foul against the Huskies.
I think Klingon with that big derriere, but you can see Spencer's activity puts a lot of pressure on your defense. How about this? Ashworth, known as a three-point shooter, pretty delivery. Big fella looming large. Send it back up with Sampson coming in. And of course, they can play small with Caravan, which they do effectively, so they do have some answers. It's not quite Elvin Hayes and Lou Alcindor. No. He wasn't Kareem by then. But seldom do we see two giants like that with that talent level.
Tell me how the game changes for UConn when Samson Johnson comes in for Donovan Klingon.
It's a speed game. He does a better job on the ball screen, too. He really jumps and they trap it on occasion. And, of course, running the floor, too. And when he rolls definitively.
Stephen Ashworth to work it up. Jays down 6. It's been a ragged start for Creighton. 2 for 7 from the floor.
Nice pass.
Ashworth, the open man. That 3 pinballs out, and the rebound into the hands of Tristan Newton. Already his 5th board.
And a nice play, too. Set up the timeout. Shireman with the find.
Creighton 0 for 3 from 3 to start this one.
They get you going one way, pin you the other, and they love to throw that ball to the corner. This time, a turnover. Unfortunately, they're not squeezed by Johnson.
Trey Alexander down there defending, checking into the game. Hassan Diarra, he'll replace Stefan Castle. And lest you think UConn takes a step back, you didn't watch the Marquette game this weekend. Hassan Diarra was all over Tyler Kolek when he was on the floor.
And he also pushes the tag, bites you with a 3, cuts well.
His improvement is one of the big reasons why some people think this UConn team might be better than the national title team.
Did you see that little hand hedge too? He normally makes that shot.
Kalkbrenner with the offensive rebound. Finds Trey Alexander for an open 3. Rattles around and home.
What an advantage on the kick out for the Trey. Everybody disarmed. Good find by Kalkbrenner.
And the crowd back into it in Omaha.
A diagonal cut, screen, where they are active. You got to stick to your basic tenets defensively and talk. Under 10, one of the few times.
Newton probing, fades away over Kalkbrenner. What a shot.
Kid has talent. They all bite you with this team.
And they will wear you out too with the movement, the running. Part of the plan for Coach Hurley and UConn against a rather thin Creighton team. Ashworth for 3. There it is.
How about that? Relocating beautifully. Gets it organized. Matt just looked to see what Danny was calling. He gave up. They run so many things. You just rely on your talent.
There's no way you can scout for everything he runs.
No. Newton, not that kind of play there either. He makes the game easier, this kid, for others.
6 early for Newton. Shireman hasn't scored yet. Only 1 shot. Working against Spencer. There's Jason Green inside, and the freshman on the board.
He said he would use him, Big Mac. And why not? Shireman, really patient. Could have taken it himself. Good find.
He's seen more playing time of late. Started the year injured with a broken hand, but has worked his way into the lineup more.
Played a little bit with Providence, couple offensive rebounds. Look at this hold off.
Balance, can't get it. Rebound loose. Diarra finds it underneath, and the ball tipped out of bounds by Creighton. 17 to shoot for UConn.
Can't give this club too many opportunities, second chances.
In comes Jalen Stewart, the 6'7" freshman. Stefan Castle returns for UConn. Frederick King will make his first appearance of the ball game, and Ryan Kalkbrenner trying to get a breather before the under 12. There's 1 second till the under 12.
Really. Goes without Klingon in there too. Match up a little more reasonable.
If you're joining us late, Klingon already on the bench with 2 fouls.
Same drop coverage.
Here's Castle. Shot clock at 7, working against Ashworth, and a bump by Ashworth. His first personal, Jay's first personal, timeout in Omaha.
And on the other end, they need somebody to step up, some deep open shots, and just really good activity replacing here. Get them organized. Number 1, Utah State filled it up, continuing here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Place they've not won, 0-3 against their newest conference rival.
Did you tell Danny Hurley that? Or
I did not. I don't bring things up like that.
You didn't want to ruin your relationship?
No, I like to keep things on a up-and-up level with the head man for UConn.
Well, 2 lofty programs, great home court advantages as well.
Well, you know, Danny would like to have Donovan Klingon on the floor. 2 fouls for his talented big man, and it's been a big difference without him. UConn 11-5 over Creighton with him on the floor. Without him, Creighton 8-4 over UConn.
And you would ask, what would be the difference between Johnson and him? That's part of it. And the big part of it is they use him out top to reverse the basketball. They use his big body to rub screens off of. Not as effective with Johnson, different style.
Diarra will inbound. Farabello on the floor for the first time for Creighton. Rather, the inbound coming on the baseline from Newton.
And defended effectively. Little horns look.
10 to shoot around the screen of Johnson. Newton probing, nothing there.
He is so good dancing in that lane.
3 to shoot for Diarra from the elbow and splashes it home. Hit Farabello right in his face.
Yeah, no question. Big challenge.
Four-point lead for UConn.
Got to get Shireman going. Kessel back on him.
Wyatt so far just 0 for 1 for Shireman. Nothing doing yet for the Blue Jays.
I see that big show. Johnson's so good at that.
Kalkbrenner back in with 4 to shoot.
Go to the hook.
Gotta go. Fades it away and rattles it home.
How about that? Showing the repertoire.
Can they take advantage of Klingen's absence with Kalkbrenner?
I would load him up on that box for that reason. They may come playing small. I see Caravan coming in now.
And a bump.
Small change. Alexander. A good recognition by the center, too. I don't think anybody told him. He's taking a peek at the clock. A little step back. Little Dougie McDermott from the old days.
If there was only somebody on that bench who could teach him what Doug knew.
Exactly. And Doug took it to another level. Still doing it.
At Indy now with the Pacers.
There's the rub.
There's Diarra. And now to Spencer. He'll try the 3. One of the best in the game this year from 3. Diarra with the offensive rebound.
Oh, did a nice job with that double screen. It could have been an elevator, but he avoided it.
Here's Castle. Attacking Kalkbrenner. Drove it right at him for 2.
Tough kid. Feeling his way.
You were raving earlier today about his strength.
Strength and defense, too. He really can get after people. Moves those legs.
Farabello, open man in the corner. That's his specialty.
They got to make those. He and Miller. Big addition. Opens up things for others.
You said it to start the broadcast. Farabello needed to hit a couple. They need some spark.
No question. See if they get involved now. They call the elbow play. Now they're freelancing.
Castle bumped.
And Shireman got him.
First on Shireman.
That's nice little hesitation, but the ability of Creighton over the years is to spread the offense. Look at the distance you have to close. A little nylon from Farabella. NBA Global.
Came over from TCU to Creighton. 41% from 3 this year. They bring him on, and he usually looks to provide a spark from behind the arc. One big concern today when we were talking with Greg McDermott at the shoot-around before the game was offensive rebounding. He was very concerned about UConn's ability to do that, with good reason. Already 7 offensive rebounds for UConn.
Well, they take good shots, so it's manageable. It's usually something that he can adjust to, get in their position, hold off. He is looking down, smiling at Danny, I think. He knows what a character. Great respect for these two.
And a reach in on Diarra. Number 1 on Diarra, number 3 on UConn.
Having a conversation with Baylor as well.
Yes.
Chats with everybody. That Seton Hall pedigree. Alexander's been quiet too.
Bumped by Johnson.
That's what he does great though. And in the last game, they did a lot of that, kept Creighton out on the perimeter. They got to be more in the attack mode. And a little bit of a show, never got closed.
Back it goes to Alexander, Klingen on the bench with those 2 fouls. Newton ready to check back in on the next dead ball. Alexander hesitates and then poked out of bounds. 12 to shoot as Newton returns.
Castle right there too, with a little poke. Nice hesitation by Alexander. You know, Danny started this program about defense and rebounding. Now he's added such a sophisticated offensive end to this game. What a great compliment.
Farabello.
Made the screener deal.
There's Alexander. He wanted that 3. Now he's got to improvise to Farabello, who will try it. His second.
Nice replace. Alexander patient. Arabella, the presence to Phil. He's going to get that floor, little reach in. Alexander maybe you're on the side. But you're going to get that little floater because of the drop defense, and who better? And this is this Farabella just making sure he gets in the right spot. Look at that. From out of bounds to the Phil Nylon.
That foul on Shireman, his second. And that's what the crowd is reacting to, the announcement that it's on Shireman.
I think Alexander thought it was on him, too.
Alexander with one, but Shireman now with two. No points and 2 fouls. So some key players in foul trouble in this first half.
It changes the way you're going to do things. Going to play a little bit smaller now. And both teams really, 5-man is Caravan. When you look at it, of course, Kalkbrenner, the presence. I would go right inside the Kalkbrenner somehow. Let him screen down. They love that pin down turn, beg.
Goes to Newton, 2 for 2 at the line. 8 now for Newton.
Hope to mix it up. Extend the D on occasion, making use some clock.
Ashworth, he wants to get it down to Kalkbrenner. Diarra all over it. Now Kalkbrenner against Caravan. 12 to shoot. Alexander going to go to work against Newton. Jason Green. His first career 3.
You never know when you're going to be called on. You got to be ready. Dribble drive, fine. Pretty aggressive on the perimeter here.
1-point Creighton lead, their first of the night. Castle challenged by Kalkbrenner. The rejection.
Numbers here if they want it. Kalkbrenner at the rim.
Farabella.
There you go.
The big man for 2.
Caravan, unaccustomed to playing the center, went to guard a forward, the big guy, right at the tip.
Here's Newton. Spencer looking for the tie.
Always busy now. Got himself a good look.
Creighton looking to push. Ashworth eyes up the floor, attacking.
And look at Kalkbrenner running the floor, set up a screen.
.15 to shoot for Farabella. Back to Ashworth. Matched up against Caravan on the switch.
Oh,
He'll step back for a
he's
deep
got
three.
it. How about that? That's why they wanted him here.
In February, feeling more like March tonight with a 29-23 Creighton lead over #1 UConn.
How about this, huh? Goodness. Shooting the lights out. Knocking threes down. Farabella, great addition when he came in. Again, overhelp. Paid dearly for it. Getting some really terrific looks from deep. 6 for 10 from 3. And this one, deepest of all. Wow, that's from Lincoln, I think.
Caitlin Clark said that wasn't deep, but everybody else thought it was. Ashworth with the 3, and it's really been a big difference. We've talked about it. Without Donovan Clingan on the floor, this game has completely turned in favor of the home team. He picked up his second foul. It was 11-5 UConn. Since he sat down, Creighton 9 for 11 from the floor. They've scored 24 points, a 24-12 run. And with that in mind, look who's coming back on the floor.
Then he's going to test him. He's going to test the referees, too. But he's got to be alert and don't gamble. Don't go over the top. Run his little sets. Picks on this end. And certainly don't extend the arm at the other end. But they have played well. Of course, Caravan trying to play center. Not as effective against Kalkbrenner.
Jays are 6 of 10 from 3, 61% from the floor overall.
This is where he is good. Screen, rescreen, and then beg.
Step back, Newton.
Nice check out.
Arabella with a good box
Real
out.
solid.
Ashworth to push.
So much more confident.
Alexander's three. Won't go.
Good hustle here.
Jason Green trying to get the rebound and a foul. He was undercut trying to track that rebound down, and the foul goes on Diarra, and that's his second personal.
Well, they are having their dilemmas. I don't know about that one. I think that may have been a play on, to be honest with you.
Well, that's especially painful because that's number 2 on Hassan Diarra.
Takes away a lot of their flexibility now. Klingin in the game, I would go to him at the other end. If he's on the floor, use him.
10 to shoot for Ashworth. Baseline, fades away.
Different kid, different personality, attitude, confidence. Oh, don't leave the ball.
And that stops a 10-0 run in emphatic fashion.
Got to be alert. Talk.
Ashworth and Alexander in the backcourt for the Blue Jays. A 6-point Creighton lead. Alexander slithers through the defense. That mid-range jumper is usually true. Stephon Castle now will push it up.
Done a nice job on Caravan on that delay, but I think they hit it to him with the three.
There's Castle again against the freshman Jason Green. Everything but the bucket, and the rebound out to Ashworth, and a foul on Castle. His first.
Boy, Scrappy, you're number 1. You're going to get the best shot of everybody. Certainly well prepared. And right here, this one normally would go down. But the hustle play, you got to come up those 50-50s. And thus far, Creighton's been alert.
And it's a different team. We've said it before, but since January 17th, when these two teams met for the first time, this Creighton team's gotten better. They've gotten contributions from Jason Green, and really the emergence of the Stephen Ashworth that Greg McDermott thought he was getting in the transfer portal. He's gotten more confident, and you've seen it on the floor.
And you've seen a lot of their games. A lot of people around the country say, well, he's really not a point guard. Well, there's not a lot of guys that are pure point guards. They're combos, and this kid playing at a different level right now. Of course, Alexander can play the point for him as well.
You and I were there a couple of years ago when Nembhard was injured at St. John's, and Alexander took over the point guard spot for the rest of the year. Alexander inside, needed some help, finds it from Ashworth. Another three falls. Wow. It's the Stephen Ashworth era. 11 in the first half.
And how about the patience of Alexander? No mistake, didn't turn it over, found the right guy for the drill. They're not getting their pick and slips. Not as definitive in their cuts right now, UConn.
Newton.
Nice pass.
Finds Spencer. Ashworth out there to challenge. Four to shoot.
Good closeout. Tough shot. He got it. What he did.
And
another one of those.
Ashworth is tackled by Caravan. His first, team's 7th, and a 1-and-1 opportunity.
He knows how to sell a foul. That's twice now. Castle once, Caravan the other time. Sees the momentum coming, but this is just beautiful. And again, the ability to find an open area, and then the patience, the delivery. And Ashworth selling it big time. Twice now against UConn.
What a half he has had. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And the last 9 games really continuing the trend we've seen almost since that first UConn game.
Yeah, getting better at the right time of year. No question about it. You mentioned the bench getting a little bit deeper. Guys contributing. And the same thing with UConn, too.
Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. And the Creighton Blue Jays have a double-digit lead over the #1 team in the land.
Once again, Klingin on the floor. He needs some touches, I think. Make Kalkbrenner work a little bit. Maybe give him some foul problems.
Caravan into Kalkbrenner.
Nice job by Kalkbrenner again.
It'll be Creighton ball. timeout on the floor. 4 minutes to play in the first half. A 15-2 Creighton run. And the Jays up much 36-25. Look at the numbers in this game. Creighton shooting 59%. UConn started 7 of 14. They're now 3 for their last 11. Creighton started 2 for 9. They're now 11 for their last 13. And they're doing it without Baylor Shireman, who has not scored. He's only got 1 field goal attempt and 2 fouls, but it's the threes for Creighton that have started to find a home.
And I think a lot of it is inside-out stuff, relocating, getting to the right spot, being unselfish, making very good decisions, big-time deliveries. We can just see here, wherever there is an open spot, find it. And boy, little mistake here between Spencer and Carabano. Ashworth is just a different personality right now. Confident, an air of I can do it attitude was solid.
36-25 Creighton. Blue Jay ball. Caravan still out there on the floor, or rather Klingon still out there on the floor as well with Caravan up front. Klingon with the 2 fouls, so the bigger front line remains intact for UConn.
And then what they're doing, trying to extend the floor a little, ignite some offense off their defense. The big thing with Klingon too, you gotta get him involved, I think, down these next 4 minutes. Hook runner's had its way, and once again, Creighton does not foul.
Ashworth's had the hot hand. They've got Castle on him now.
First game they didn't attack. Now they're getting in more of the attack mode.
Ashworth again for 3. He can't miss.
It's his night. Maybe it's his world. We are welcome.
14-point lead for Creighton. Ashworth with 16 by himself.
This is the end I've been impressed with. He makes it, but that's a tough shot with a challenge.
Stop the 8-0 Creighton run. But a defensive team at UConn that's one of the very best in college basketball. And Creighton's got 39 points on the board. We've not hit the 3-minute mark.
And of course, the other end, they have been very effective as well. That's his game. He can fill it up mid-range.
There are a few with a prettier jumper mid-range than Trey Alexander.
I might throw Tristan in there as well. He's got more of the floater, though, you're right.
41-27. Here's Spencer getting free.
Look at the recovery, too. Use the flare screen, and right there, a nice help by Alexander.
Newton left open with that help, and the rebound inside for Klingon, blocked by Kolkbrenner. Klingon going back to work against the Creighton big, and he puts it in.
Hung pretty tough, didn't he? But they've got a lot of mileage without Shireman.
A 20-4 run. Ashworth
goodness.
Again. The first miss in a long while for Ashworth, and it's out of bounds to Creighton.
Kolkbrenner really did a nice job getting a piece of that action there. How do you tell Ashworth to calm down? I mean, he's been on a roll. Let it fly.
That's been the Jays' mantra for years, let it fly, and Stephen Ashworth has taken that to heart tonight. As Klingon now will leave, and Dan Hurley got some terrific minutes out of his still young big with those 2 fouls.
He is getting free as well, which is key. The arrow will be on him now. I think they're having some clock issue.
They're over to the scorer's table to check the clock. Last time UConn won on the road against a top 20 foe, you've got to go all the way back to before 2 national titles ago, when it was January 16, 2014. They beat Memphis 0-20 since they won that game against a top 25 opponent on the road. This is something that they've had a lot of opportunities to do, and they've had similar results.
Tonight, they better, second half, they better shape up. On the offensive end in particular, they're not running their action. They're not screening purposefully. They're not slipping purposefully. They're not getting touches on the box. And counter that, they're not shutting off the 3-point shot. Normally, they squeeze it, force it to the big. They got a clock issue, they were telling us.
They are reviewing, it sounds like, for 1 second. There's a 1 second difference that they're checking. And they know 3 seconds now. They've taken 3 off. 2:13 remaining in the first half, and 20 to shoot for the Blue Jays.
They're closing it down. That was key for both teams. And Connecticut's got to button it up on the defensive end to get their action going. They got a little bit out of Clingan taking him out. Pretty good move, I think, don't you? With the 2
2 minutes from him.
Yeah.
Now rest him for the final 2. Then full go second half. Alexander. There's Ashworth again, chased by DR, out there with 2 fouls.
Nice.
It goes to Ashworth. Nice foul on Johnson.
The reach in from behind. Danny can't believe it. Pretty good self-control over there. I thought he poked it free, to be honest with you.
That's 2 on Johnson. See it here.
But this is the end of his hand at the end, but he got the ball. I don't know. Tough break. And Clingan coming in for offense.
So now you've got 2 fouls on Johnson, 2 fouls on Clingan.
The end of that play was still they're out of bounds, by the way. Ashworth got a little double screen all around the top.
Misses the front end, and it ends up with Newton. That's rebound number 6 in the first half for Tristan Newton.
Spencer's got to get busy. I think he's the catalyst for this team. He's had a super year. His activity, nice little pin and curl.
Here's Newton. Can't get that one to fall. Nice. You notice Clingan backing off with that second foul.
Yeah, well, smart play. Klockman stuck him. Nice pass here.
Oh, Ashworth finding Alexander.
Went right at Clingan. Be careful.
90 seconds until halftime. Alexander against Spencer.
Likes to get to his spot and elevate.
Fades away. There's that mid-range.
Wow. That's Spencer's move, too. He loves that shot.
22-6 over the last 7 minutes of game action for Creighton.
Pretty impressive. From a very sketchy beginning, if you recall. Well, this defense has been terrific. We'll talk about Greg's ability on that offensive end, and this just shut it down big time.
4th UConn turnover. Everybody contributing on both ends for the home team.
Yeah, don't sleep on it, though. They just keep coming at you with their offense, Connecticut. But this is just gorgeous footwork. A lot of work into that knockdown delivery. And right here, you can just see the defense forcing the baseline. Nobody at home on the recipient end.
Ashworth. Deep 3 again. And the rebound to Castle.
Nothing there. Again, good balance, not giving up easy ones.
About a 10-second difference between game and shot clock for UConn as the shot clock hits 10 seconds. Creighton with fouls to give, by the way.
Yeah, let's see if they just switch it.
Newton, out it goes. Caravan, 1 second on the shot clock. He did not get the shot off.
And you know who helped on that? Miller. Miller really tried to deny the ball, created those problems, the havoc, and you can see the frustration on the sideline as well. And right here, who's that immovable force right at the rim.
So Shireman will come in now for the last 9.7. Little offensive punch.
You think Mac wants to get him going a little bit, maybe?
Oh, no doubt. Going into the second half. It's a potent UConn team. No lead is safe with the Huskies.
Maybe a ball screen in the middle. They got shooters in the corner.
Alexander with 5 seconds. Going to work. Alexander.
Nice
block by Johnson. He got a piece of that ball to deflect it away. But that's the only thing that deflects from Creighton's first half performance. 43-29. Look at the performance comparison from a month ago. What a difference 1 month makes. That was for the game on the left side of your screen.
Well, when you play number 1, brings the best out of you. And this team
in the half sparked by shooting 14 for their final 19. We welcome you back courtside alongside Bill Raftery. I'm Kevin Kugler. What a turnaround after a slow start for the Blue Jays. Their offense got going, Stephen Ashworth got going, and their defense got going.
We talked about Stephen Ashworth. Ashworth struggling a little bit up at UConn, coming in, maybe relieved the last 10 minutes of that game, feeling comfortable. But the defense has been extraordinary. The difficulty of playing Connecticut is incredible. All the bumps and screens and slips, and the variety of sets, you really have to talk, and they've done a great job, Creighton.
57% shooting from the floor, 8 of 15 from three-point land for the Blue Jays. And let's take a look at our stat comparison. It's sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. And we started this broadcast talking about, boy, Baylor Shireman's the player to watch tonight.
I think that was your call.
Yeah, that was your call. Yeah, it was Eric Mandy, our producer, said that's the guy we got to choose. You and I were really arguing hard for Stephen Ashworth. 16 points.
You got to prepare for him, no question. But just the overall attitude that's permeated this team, the preparation has been extraordinary. And now it's only 14 against the #1 team in the country, who has a number of talented guys that can stick it.
Here's Shireman. Will he try to get it going early in this second half?
As long as he doesn't force the issue.
Nice bounce, it's Shireman. Bumped inside by Castle. Nowhere to go. Needs some help.
Castle's a good defender.
Alexander to the free throw line. That's a contested 2. A little bit strong. Long rebound. Kalkbrenner tips it.
Double
and it ends up with us.
The right call. Nice hands there. Out of the gate.
Shireman with 20 on the shot clock now. Resets. And goes to work.
When they have the ball in the middle of the floor and spread the shooters, it can be a dilemma.
7th shooter comes Shireman.
Ran
into Klingon in there.
Nice pump.
Ashworth with the 3. Picking up where he left off.
Well, the closeout, the blow by Spencer certainly hit him, but Ashworth, he's smiling at both of them. He's having a ball.
All he needed was a shoulder shrug, and it would have been Jordan from the playoffs.
You can see the dilemma. And not as smooth, not in sync right now, UConn.
In the corner, Caravan.
That would help.
He has been quiet.
Nice
5
run
points.
by Miller.
Miller to the tin for 2.
How about Alexander? The foresight, the vision.
A 5-0 start to the second half for the Blue Jays.
Can't beat conference play, can you?
Hard to win on the road in any conference.
Caravan's got the mismatch, but they don't see it.
Castle, 5 to shoot over Kalkbrenner, rattles it home.
They can get that all game, really, with that drop coverage, the zone up by the big guy.
But it's this end of the floor that UConn's needing some stops. Creighton's already matched their total output from the first meeting. Miller, set 3.
How about that? Kalkbrenner, the big body. Miller provides the lift with the knockdown.
20-point Creighton lead. 10 made threes tonight for the Jays.
Would you say that again, please?
10 made threes. They average 10.5 per game. Spencer's floater short, got his own miss and put it back in. He's just got 4 tonight.
And he is the catalyst for this team, I think. He and Newton can get him going a little bit. They just got to coordinate on this end. Little 1-3-1 look now.
Shireman, touch pass, Alexander, another 3.
Right on from here. Again, Shireman not doing anything silly. Nice little look.
This crowd came to celebrate.
And they are.
And the team's giving them a reason to in Omaha.
Well, they're going under at the right time, going over the top.
Newton trying to answer, cannot. Battle for the rebound. Alexander wins.
Well, they're screening out.
Alexander fouled by Newton. The first on Newton and the first on UConn in the second half.
They are working hard, hustling hard, and sprinting to open shots. See, Kalkbrenner gets the little bump down low. The southpaw, feathery delivery. And why not this extra pass by Shireman against that 1-3-1 zone? So well prepared and equipped.
Here's Shireman, the lob to Kalkbrenner. Going to work against Klingon, and Klingon wins that battle. Now Spencer.
Nice discard. Well, he did discard. Use strength. They got to stay in the attack mode, though.
They came out attacking. 11 points already in the second half for the Blue Jays.
UConn will not pack the tack.
15 to shoot. Alexander curling into the paint. Klingon there to block his progress.
Again, always an outlet, though.
Alexander again, fading away. And Alexander's starting to heat up. He's got 12.
Oh, he is tough. Gets those puppies organized with that 2-foot post-up.
What a performance tonight for 15th ranked Creighton. Spencer.
Nice
Feeds
pass.
inside. Really good look to find Klingon after Kalkbrenner came out.
Yeah, good players find bailout passes. Good look by Spencer.
Here's Shireman for three off the side of the backboard. Not been his night tonight. He's had a lot of them. 0 for 2 tonight.
That's far to doing it without him.
Newton driving, count it, and the foul. Tristan Newton to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
They'll keep playing, guys. This is a proud program being put to the test right now.
Trey Alexander heating up in the second half for the Blue Jays.
There's so many weapons that they possess. Sharman quiet. Want to get you second stud on the perimeter to get them organized. A little discard, a little nylon. Whew. Omaha heated up. Attacking if you're Creighton. And conversely, UConn, get in the flow on the offensive end, be consistent, be solid. With the three-point shot, and Carabin in particular, get he and Spencer going a little bit.
If UConn comes back, it'll be the comeback from the largest deficit they've faced this season. 14 wins ago, they were down 19 in their loss to Seton Hall. Since that time, they have not lost. 14 straight wins. But tonight in Omaha, the Blue Jays had them down 21 at one point.
And then he's playing small now, be a little more aggressive.
Alexander runs into Diarra.
Good defender, tough.
He really gave Tyler Kolek fits this past weekend.
That's hard to do, as we know.
No question. Alexander. Here's Shireman, scoreless tonight.
With the right hand.
And misses at the rim. 0 for 3 from the floor. He's been as hot as any player in America over the last month.
That's the first good one he's had, really.
Plenty of time for UConn. Can they string a run together? Newton will try. Gets inside. Doesn't get the bounce, but there's Klingon for the putback.
Good shot. Klingon's holding his knees. He ran back a little bit. Writhing in pain somewhat. And that's what Newton does, though. You help a little bit, opens it up for Klingon.
Offensive rebound number 11 for UConn in that mix. And the 21-point lead is now 15. Here's Shireman against Castle.
I like his activity a little bit more lately.
Count that bucket.
And I like what Mac did. He ran a stagger on the left, and he curls beautifully. He knows how to hunt shots. Got to be frustrating for him a little bit, but really hasn't forced the issue. Here's that little stagger, comes all the way around, gets the ball, and initiates the contact, really. It's one of those deals. I hope it gets him going. And this is Klingon being in the right spot. Anytime you attract the big, it bears the open side.
Free throw good for Shireman. And now an 18-point Creighton lead again. This crowd active, involved since pregame in Omaha.
Alexander's got it. Newton's the guy, I think, that'll try and get it going.
Klingon, we've got a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Mason Miller. And for Miller, his first, team's second. Remember, this Creighton team just does not foul. Only 11 fouls per game, the best in the country for Greg McDermott.
And the big thing there, Kev, was He was trying to do his job, fight over the screen, and a little nickel dimer.
There's Newton chased by Alexander.
He's the guy that likes to take over.
And Newton bumped. Count that as a foul on Alexander. It's his second. And Newton to the line for a pair.
And he creates post-up. Real dilemma for the defender, too. Spins, establishes that pivot foot. Alexander right there, but he does not give up on the move.
80% at the line for Tristan Newton.
See if Klingon's all right, though. He felt his knee before. I don't know if this is a breather for him or he's going right to the trainer. Spoke to him, too, James Doran.
Not getting much attention, though, as he sits down. Johnson in to spell him with 1:20 till the under 12 window opens up. A little pressure applied.
Attack.
Now. Jays going to work against it. The trailer is Ashworth, and back to Trey Alexander here.
And nice little feeling out, too. If it was there, they would have taken it.
Creighton at 59.5% from the floor.
Just held off. Got him on the hip. Big time finish.
Newton underhand to Castle as they started up on this end.
Nice cut.
And then Diarra, the extra pass, but he throws it away. Ill-advised by Hassan Diarra. Now Alexander to work.
Well, they're so much more aggressive, though. Going at the rim with a wide open look. Good play.
And again, a 21-point Creighton lead.
All by Showerman, too. The drift on that weak side. Dribble drive. Baylor's not Baylor tonight. But Shireman has been solid. Not doing anything to hurt it. Could cause all of a sudden lighten it up with that particular pass. And that three-point play as well.
Just deficit of the season, 21 points down with 12:23 to go in the second half. Sunday on FS1, Caitlin Clark, the reigning player of the year, Wooden Award winner, first-team All-American, and now the all-time leading scorer in NCAA college basketball history, takes the court as fourth-ranked Iowa hosts Illinois. It all tips off at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
She's amazing.
She's fantastic. She's closing in on the Division I all-time scoring leader on the men's side.
The pistol.
Pete Maravich. And again, she's got Lynette Woodard on the women's side to eclipse as well. She's 80 points away from her. Pete Maravich in sight. And, of course, Pistol Pete did all that without a three-point shot.
You've seen her live, right?
I have.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
She's amazing. No question about it. While we're talking about historic moments, how about Gina Orieva? Right, matching Mike Kay, 1,203. The keeper, what, 11 NCAA championships?
11 championships at UConn on the women's side, 5 on the men's side.
And Olympic gold, right?
Yes.
Amazing. Congrats, Coach.
He is something special. UConn trying to get things righted here in Omaha with Tristan Newton handed off to Spencer.
Yeah, just ran that little bit. America's played back screen to the pop.
And Castle's three not going to go. But it's
Alexander
looks like a foul on Trey Alexander, battling for that rebound.
It just didn't stick one UConn player.
Third on Alexander. So here's a baseline out of bounds opportunity for UConn. But first, Farabello will check in, and Alexander frustrated to leave. He's been hot in this second half.
He's a tough kid. Working on that three-point shot to complement that mid-game.
Here's Newton around the screen, using that screen from Johnson to get a good look.
Farabello got low, didn't tag the guy, went under. They are not going to give it up.
And that's going to be UConn basketball.
Yeah, Spencer talked them into it, too. You got to be ready. UConn's not going to pack it. Tough-minded. That's why they're number one. But they have it to run the baseline, get free, step through the ball, and attack, too. I don't think you just come over half court. If you get a good one, you go at the rim.
Creighton has had UConn's number since the 2018-2019 season. 6 losses against the Jays, the most against any opponent. Long way to go See if UConn can get things going here.
They love that little bump and go cross court. Well defended.
Newton feeding it inside, and Klingon lost it on the feed from Castle, and a turnover for the Huskies.
May have been a hand in there. I don't know if it was Ashworth or not, but a well-designed play. Just didn't complete it. Here's that trap. Got to look over the top. The Kalkbrenner was free. There he is. To diffuse.
That's something Creighton's going to have to handle tonight in these final 11.5 minutes.
A little shaky in that earlier trip.
There's Shireman, just 3 points tonight.
And Green on the floor, too. Ken up a nice little slip. How about that?
Kalkbrenner with a hammer.
Again, Shireman within the confines, not forcing it. Very catchable bounce pass.
20-point lead. Diarra, the floater, short. Shireman cradles the rebound.
Well, that was a big play. A little step and go by the big guy.
Ashworth wants Kalkbrenner to come up. The lob underneath. It caroms off the backboard. Shireman there to catch it. 8 to shoot. Ashworth in the scramble for 3. That won't go. Long rebound. Farabello finds it. His floater is short.
Look at this hustle. Keeping a piece of it. Kalkbrenner twice. That time. I think maybe Green.
Here's Ashworth around the Kalkbrenner screen. 9 to shoot for Farabello. Jason Green. His second from range.
How about that? Talk about working hard in practice, getting the opportunity, seizing it.
A career high 8 for Jason Green.
And good hustle on the glass. Set it up.
Castle off the fake. Driving inside. Kalkbrenner with a challenge and the foul.
Not a bad give, really. You can see Kessel's opportunity. He can get to the rim with some strength, but Green with envy. Again, this has been a couple of times, a little dribble drive. Once on the baseline by Shireman on the kick, and this time Farabello, the fine, number 0 in your program. Whew, big time knockdown.
He was a prominent high school player in the Omaha metro area. Over 1,300 points at Millard North High School, which is in the western edge of Omaha, and redshirted last year in his first year with Creighton. We mentioned it earlier. He missed the first 4 games with a broken hand, was slow to work in, but over the last 2 to 3 weeks, he's earned more and more playing time, and you've seen why tonight.
I mentioned he did play in the Providence game. They were really a 6.5-man rotation at one point. Just getting a little bit deeper.
Not a bad time of year to get deeper. With the tournament beckoning both at Madison Square Garden for the conference and the NCAAs to follow. And make no mistake, you'll see both of these teams in March Madness.
Absolutely. Stewart on the floor, a really great looking prospect, I think. You know, work on that jump shot, can do everything else.
Freshman out of Seattle, Garfield High School product. Here's Ashworth probing, he'll back out. Now Shireman turns the corner, bumps into Stewart, and a charging foul called on Baylor's Shireman. That'll be his 3rd.
Good footwork. I don't know if he was quite there and set. But Shireman trying to turn the corner and create.
It's been a rare, frustrating night for Baylor Shireman.
They never really got set, but anytime you get the shoulder in.
Newton to work. 9.5 to play in Omaha.
Once again, really not going through their action with efficiency.
Newton off the shot fake, spins on Farabello. And a blocking foul. Count the bucket, and a chance for one more at the line.
How about that? No quitting these guys. When you got somebody like Tristan on the floor, hope he's okay. Look at the footwork. We mentioned it earlier. The spin, the control, the ability to finish, and a chance for 3. Really, the contact was earlier, if anything.
Greg McDermott, safe to say, did not agree with that whistle.
No, I mean, it was really a phantom call.
UConn now in the bonus. Rare to see Creighton with 7 fouls in a game, let alone in a half, as Shireman gets the rebound.
Oh, he is a big rebounder, almost 7 a game, too.
4 tonight, also 6 assists. So on a night where he's not scoring, he's helped in other ways.
But he has not hurt them at all.
He'll work against Spencer here. Going to work.
There's that
Drives down the
strength.
lane.
He's doing that beautiful.
And Farabello looking for the 3. Long rebound. Newton on the run with it. Behind the back. And Newton
What a
finds
pass.
Stewart for 2.
What a pass and control. Kid's a winner.
There's a reason he's put up 3 triple-doubles in his career. And every game seemingly flirts with one. Ashworth, he'll try a 3. Can't get the roll, and that extra bounce threw off the timing as Green tried for the offensive board.
Yeah, look at
quickly
that.
to Caravan.
What hustle.
Knocked away, Green.
And that's that delay game. They look to hit Caravan. Very alert by Green. He is winded too going out. Get him some oxygen, coach. And right here, you think you got an easy one. Terrific reaction. He'll get some more minutes after this performance.
I was going to say, you coaches like plays like that.
Oh, effort.
Klingon needs a little help. Says, no, I don't. Shireman the rebound.
Good shot, though.
UConn on a 6-0 run.
Nice footwork here.
Alexander past Klingon. There's a foul. Little bump on the way to the basket. Klingon, who played with 2 late in that first half, picks up his 3rd personal.
He is hurting, too, walking around there.
And grimacing again.
Yeah.
We saw him grab his left knee earlier in the half.
And bent over a little bit, hurting. But nice take off the bounce, though. A nice offensive set, too. Bring the big guy out and punish him.
Just the 3rd foul on UConn in this second half. Creighton's been whistled for 7.
You notice Kalkbrenner hasn't taken a 3 since early in the game?
On a bounce to Shireman. He'll drive baseline. Ball poked free with a foul on Jalen Stewart. His first, team's 4th, and a timeout on the floor. Jays up 17.
A lot of things going right for Creighton. Kalkbrenner's had his impact, being in the right spot. I just love this little play. Empty side ball screen. Big fella banging it home. Dandy a little bit upset. Trying to hang tough. Keep working, keep competing. And obviously defensively, don't have any breakdowns. A big thing, they've had trouble covering the kick to the opposite corner. And Shireman's a little more active with the dribble drive. He's been more creative.
And if they can get it to, as Coach Hurley said, under 10 at the under 4, then he feels like they've got a legitimate shot. So these next 4 minutes are huge for UConn and Creighton.
You're not seeing UConn right now at its best, and it's because of Creighton. No question about it. But this is a big-time championship contender team. It's part of growing as a team as well.
Shireman lobbing into Kalkbrenner. Catch to the rim. The foul on Johnson.
He's got the body and the strength over Johnson. Good little call to get him involved.
3rd on Johnson. 15 foul on UConn in this second half.
Now you see Creighton a lot. There's a lot of leaders on that team. It's not just the point guard Ashworth that's talking. Alexander is, Farabello was. Shireman obviously a chatterer. As
you've
most
got
of
a
you
lot
guys are.
A lot of veterans in this squad, and they play a ton of minutes. I mean, Kalkbrenner never leaves the floor. Shireman rarely leaves. Ashworth is out there. Alexander.
Now you're talking 33 to 36 minutes, those guys.
The 2 misses at the line, and now UConn, after an empty Creighton possession, to work.
Caravan's got to keep busy.
Newton was looking over his shoulder for Alexander. He's got 21.
He is so good in that lane.
And now a 15-point game.
They're trying to make Creighton think a little bit.
8-0 run for UConn.
Always in the attack mode.
Shireman for Kalkbrenner. Karams away to Farabello. 15 to shoot. Alexander against Newton. What a matchup here.
Similar games, too. Tough shot.
And the fadeaway, Alexander wanted a call, didn't get it. And now UConn to work. Down 15.
Once again, get Newton in the lane if they can.
Here's Caravan. And a foul.
Alexander, I thought he was just losing his balance on that particular drive.
That's his fourth, Rap.
I like the aggressive nature of Caravan, though. Put the pressure on the official. Of course, the bump made him fall, I would agree.
This crowd has been celebratory most of the night. You sense a little mood change. There's an edge developing in Omaha as UConn keeps coming.
And Green coming in to give Alexander a blow with the foul dilemma.
How long, if you're Greg McDermott, do you keep Trey Alexander on the bench with those 4 fouls?
Depends on what happens the next couple of trips for UConn, I think.
9-0 run now for UConn.
And this is where they need Shireman big time, I think, at the other end. Prove his mettle. He's a very talented kid. A lot of winners on UConn as well, though. This kid's one of them.
2 for 2 for Caravan.
Press has thrown them off. They haven't turned it over, Creighton. They just got them out of sync. A little 1-3-1 again here.
Crowd wanted a foul on Spencer.
Killed himself with the dribble.
Yep. 14 to shoot. Shireman needs some help.
Gonna get a corner jumper out of it.
Green will try again.
Nice foul.
Ashworth with the rebound
and a push.
Foul.
Castle with the push. What a hustle play by your backcourt player. Boy, he has had a terrific performance thus far. This was a big snatch by him. Doesn't give up on the play. And just that little touch helped him.
Second foul on Caravan, 6th team foul. Next one will send Creighton to the line.
Here's their favorite little play, a little flex on the out of bounds.
Here's Shireman. There's the three.
Well, they worked on that out of bounds, as you saw today. Oh, nice pin and the lefty stroke.
Newton looking for the answer. He's got it.
And
the foul.
Wow. He doesn't go away.
And neither does UConn.
No. And he is the catalyst, no question about it. A lot of good players on this particular team. Look at that dance, getting organized, initiates the hit. Well, you see so much of that. When the challenge comes forward, you don't permit the guy to land. Is this challenge, put the hand up, jump stop, or skip and stop?
It was 23, the deficit.
What did Danny say, by 4?
By 4, they needed it under 10. Well, it's 12 with 2 minutes to go to the under 4. Trey Alexander on the bench with 4 fouls for Creighton.
I would start thinking about him, to be honest with you.
Ashworth, only 3 second-half points for the star of the first half.
If you don't score this trip, I would probably go to Alexander.
10 to shoot. Shireman around the Kalkbrenner screen. He'll take it down the baseline with 5 to shoot.
And they covered that weak side, too.
Fades away.
There you go.
And Shireman starting to pick up this team.
He's too talented to be silenced.
14-point lead. Quickly, UConn to work.
Farabello trying to ice Newton. Face guard.
Finally got it to him. Newton around the Klingon screen. Fades away.
Look at this kid.
He cannot be stopped right now. 27 for Tristan Newton.
Incredible.
This is reminiscent of the game he had in Lawrence, Kansas early in the season. We put up 31.
So good in that lane.
5 minutes to go. 12-point Creighton lead. Farabello under 10 to shoot. Blocked off inside. Here's Ashworth with 5 to shoot. Has to hoist. Was online, just a little strong. And UConn can cut it to 10 or even into single digits.
Once again, dancing in that lane. Nice give.
Finds his big man. Woo. Oh, we have a game developing in Omaha.
And here comes Alexander.
And here comes a Creighton timeout. If they can get it across the timeline. And a timeout is called.
Games like this, you find out what you're made of.
And what did Dan Hurley say? 10 before the under 4.
He's off by 29. What a effort by this particular individual. On his own, we're finding people like Creighton on that dribble drive. Boy, what a solid performance. Talk about good hands. Big time bang. He's got the right players with the same type of attitude. They don't pack it. Keep going, keep charging. And you got a guy like Newton. Curry for himself will find some others. Nice dives to the rim. And look at this sudden surge.
Under 16, it was 21. Under 12, it was 18. Under 8, 15. When you heard Dan Hurley say that to his team, now they got it to 10 at the 4:29 mark. It's a 10-point game in Omaha. Trey Alexander returns with 4 fouls, as you predicted for Creighton.
And I'll be curious to see if he does play Newton with those 4 fouls. He has been the #1 guy on the offensive end. And Kessel on Sharman, try and silence him a little bit. They're going to force others to make the play here, I think. Dribble drive, maybe a corner jumper, whether it's Farabella or Alexander or Shireman.
Denying Shireman. Castle all over it.
Nice little freeze on Shireman. Couldn't get a touch.
Now around the Kalkbrenner screen, it's Ashworth. Just 3 second-half points. Lobbing to his big man underneath, and a foul. And Kalkbrenner will go to the line for a 1-and-1. 7th team foul against the Huskies. That'll go on Hassan Diarra, his 3rd.
Yeah, Creighton thought it was him. Well, this was a gamble pass, and Diarra just caught in the middle of everything. I don't know about that one either.
No. If anyone, it would have been on Creighton.
Yeah. Or a non-call.
Or a non-call. Kalkbrenner just 1 for 3 at the line tonight. Missed his last 2 on his last trip.
70% shooter, though. They need a couple of stops, Creighton, at the other end. Because conversely, everything's been around Newton. And see if they keep persisting.
Kalkbrenner 2 for 2. Connecticut in the second half, 62% from the floor.
Spencer's got to keep busy. Screen, get a bump.
He'll underhand it to Newton, who will launch from way downtown, and the rebound to Kalkbrenner.
May have been a little bit of a settle. Been so good, and he knows it, shaking his head, putting it on the deck.
Still had plenty of time on that shot clock. Creighton up 12 with the ball.
Sharman's got to get busy.
Ashworth looking. Alexander curling. Back it goes to Ashworth. 4-3. He's been off in this second half after a red-hot first half. Now Newton, who's not been off at all. Back out to Castle. And there is a travel.
Yeah, he just caught between. Should I take the 3? A pretty good closeout. Set that up.
And back-to-back empty possessions for UConn at a time they could ill afford to have that.
And one of the looking for the 3 earlier and settling a little bit here. Castle.
Caravan back in for Diarra.
And Newton might be a little bit fatigued too. He has carried this team.
Back from 23 down in this second half. At the 10-18 mark. Kalkbrenner bringing it up.
Oh, goodness.
And that is a travel.
Goodness.
And
it's not his fault, though. Somebody's got to come and get it away from him. A good job by UConn. Once he got it, they froze everybody else. And he had a little double up.
so UConn back to work down 12. After the Creighton turnover, it's Spencer to Clingan now. 12 to shoot.
I haven't seen Clingan little roll, dive to the basket and pin his guy at all. Everything's been on the perimeter.
Here's Newton. Step through. Got caught in the air to Castle for 3.
Look at this rebound.
Ashworth battling forward. It's out of bounds. It'll belong to Creighton.
He's done that twice on the offensive end and this end. What an effort. Well, you need your guards to help. Look where he came from the foul line here. It's just great recognition.
And the left hand of Newton swats it out of bounds. And a foul on Stefan Castle, fouling Stephen Ashworth, who entered the night at 92% at the line.
Yeah, not a good giveaway. That far from the basket. They really played good defense in the half court as well. If they didn't get any other full court pressure, UConn.
Ashworth for the 1-and-1. 2 for 3 tonight. A rare miss, just his 5th of the year.
Well, he has found the comfort zone the last few games, hasn't he?
20 tonight for Ashworth. Creighton trying to make a little history in Omaha. 0-6 all time against a #1 ranked team.
Yeah, you could tell Mac today he came in ready to go. Well organized, as both coaches are, with their sets, what they want to do, what they want to take away.
Wow. And 2 misses tonight for Ashworth, who had missed all of 5 at the, or 4 rather, at the line this year.
I think they got to go away from Newton a little bit now. There's the duck in.
He's going to work against Alexander, who backed off with those 4 fouls, and the rebound. Kalkbrenner has it, and there's a foul.
Toughness by Kalkbrenner. Well, they got a good look, though. Right here, maybe a little short, the legs a little bit weary. Been carrying the load for UConn.
Like pushing a boulder uphill, and Newton's been doing a lot of the pushing.
He sure has.
And Kalkbrenner now back to the line, hit 2 a moment ago. He's got 13 points. He's got 6 rebounds.
And a lot of wear and tear, too, banging with Klingon all game.
You wonder how different this game would have been if Klingon hadn't gotten into the early foul trouble in the first half. Really changed the tenor of this game.
Well, you might say that at UConn when Ashford got the 2 early ones.
Yep.
A different impact, obviously. Klingon's so valuable for what they try and run.
Got it to 10, and Creighton's provided a little stiff arm despite not hitting a field goal in almost 3.5 minutes. Deep 3 for Caravan. And the rebound to Newton. He'll back up for 3. That won't go. Shireman with the rebound and a foul on Castle.
Wow. I would still attack the rim. When you're in the hailing distance, go and you get a foul for a 3-point play.
Yeah, since that under 4 timeout, where they had gotten it to 10, UConn 0 for 5, and they haven't scored in 2.5 minutes.
And they got away from running their racks. There was a lot of individual play. And Creighton really equipped defensively. Again, Alexander came in a little more defense-minded against Newton. Another knockdown free throw shooter.
This Creighton team 77% as a team, 2nd best in team history.
83 at the line here.
And Shireman, who had nothing on the board at halftime, has 10 second half points.
And really, again, didn't force the issue.
And Creighton back up by 17. 2 to play in Omaha. Newton. Castle turned down the 3. He'll drive it to the rim and gets the roll, and a timeout taken by the Huskies with 1:51 to play. They have 1 remaining.
Castle, maybe by the end of the year or definitely next year, he'll be able to take that 3-point shot with some confidence. Turned it down, got a chance for 2.
Well, for UConn, it doesn't get any easier. Saturday night on Fox Primetime Hoops, they take on Villanova. The Wildcats have their sights set on a major upset. Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern, only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. UConn travel home after this one and start getting ready for that Villanova game, and they're going to hope for better defense against the Wildcats, because something that's been a strength all year long has had its struggles tonight.
And Villanova is very good at controlling the tempo of the game as well. I think they won tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
They did.
Yeah.
Big win for a team that's right there on that bubble scenario.
It's a big one for them. Quad 1 on the road.
As you watch these students celebrate, and #1 on the ropes in Omaha, you do wonder about a potential court storm. We've seen these before. There have been 2 in Omaha that we could remember back all the way to the early days. In 2020, right before the world shut down, Creighton beat Seton Hall, won a share of the Big East Championship that year, and the court was stormed. Then you go back to 2012, back in the Valley days, Creighton was playing in a bracket buster game against Long Beach State. It started at 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my goodness.
And they stormed the court after that win.
If they win, I wish I were in the beverage business in town.
I thought you were in the beverage business in every town. They break that pressure, and now they're going to burn some clock.
Yeah, they're just going to play straight up. I got to think Esmer set the tone for this team.
Shireman with 2 to shoot inside. Can't get it to go, but got his own rebound and a foul. Samson Johnson with the foul, his 4th.
Wouldn't you agree with Ashworth, though?
Yeah.
I mean, his confidence early stemmed from him, and I think you're right. Here they come.
The students are inching their way down towards the court.
That is where Danny might be wise to have his team leave the floor a little bit, a little premature maybe,
Make
so
sure
nobody gets hurt. By the way, you saw that incident in the handshake line.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, I just hope they do away with it. It's
let the coaches shake hands.
Say wave, do anything. I mean, kids play hard, compete. You never know what's being said. Everybody goes to the locker room. It's a lot easier. Pretty good all-around athlete, this kid, right?
No doubt. He was a terrific quarterback in Aurora, Nebraska, which is west of the Omaha Metro by a few hours. Played at South Dakota State. Summit League Player of the Year. That's a good little league.
And what a find for Creighton.
And he's better this year than he was last year, and he was honorable mention All Big East a year ago. Creighton closing in on the upset of UConn. Castle.
Real good D by Alexander.
And Kalkbrenner with a rejection. And Shireman will pull back as he gets across.
They took the hit, proved they were resilient, and UConn will be better for this game.
Anybody ready for Madison Square Garden in March yet?
It will be wild. So many heavyweights.
Alexander 3 to shoot, fades away, splashes it down, the cherry on top of the upset in Omaha. Castle and UConn with one last possession. Stewart. No. Rebound Johnson. And Kalkbrenner has it tip out of bounds. 9.6 to play. And UConn will inbound.
And Ashworth in the mix there. Didn't come up with it. Feisty performance.
We are getting ready for pandemonium in Omaha. Diarra. And the inbound taken away. Farabello is going to dribble it out. And the Blue Jays have never flown higher. For the first time in program history, they've beaten number 1. What a scene in Omaha, Nebraska.
Well deserved. Incredible performance. I'm impressed that they were tough-minded enough. That little run, as you knew a UConn team would do, or provide, stem the tide. And getting Alexander back in the game after that timeout late certainly was a weapon. Somebody to play Newton and try to put this team on his shoulder for UConn.
And Creighton held UConn to just one field goal in their last 8 attempts to close this game. UConn got it to 10, but Creighton with the stiff arm to push the Huskies away, and an 85-66 victory over #1 UConn. Rap, what a fun night here.
Oh, enjoyable. A great town to come to and see a game like this.
And the Big East always delivers. And they deliver.